Good evening, everyone. It is 5:03 PM and I call this public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who is joining us this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the items listed under closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the direction provided by the clerk at the opening of each item. Mrs. Elizondo.
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during the public comment portion of the meeting at 6:30 PM. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located on the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. We will allow speakers from the audience to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing none, hearing none, I close the public hearing and adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A through 1D. The board will convene at the conclusion of the closed session. Good evening, everyone. It is 7:07 PM and I call this regular meeting to order. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. I want to welcome the media and everyone joining us in person and via Zoom. We ask those joining us this evening to please silence your electronic devices not linked to this meeting. If you would like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each public comment period. Superintendent Lau.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and staff, and all of our friends out in Zoom land, I would like to remind us of our vision and our mission tonight. Our vision states that Madera Unified will set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. And our mission states that we're committed to creating and sustaining a culture, enabling Madera Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that is intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That's the nature of our work this evening and always.
Thank you, Superintendent Lau. Roll call. Ms. Elizondo, please call the roll.
Trustee Ahmad.
Here.
Trustee Cortez.
Here.
Trustee Dybert.
Here.
Trustee Fleek.
Here.
Trustee Seibert.
Here.
Clerk Mendoza.
Here.
And President Salazar.
Here.
All here.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Trustee Cyber, would you please lead us in the flag salute? Thank you, Trustee Cyber. Tonight's scheduled invocation will be provided by Pastor Mike Purcell, a Believers Church of Madera. I invite Pastor Purcell to the podium.
There you are. Yes, sir.
There we go. Lord, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for all of our board members, Superintendent Lyle, and everyone that's here in this building tonight. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your direction. Thank you for your knowledge for the Madera Unified School District and everyone that's involved in this. And Lord, I also ask you for your safety. I ask you for your protection. And I thank you for this upcoming school year with all the students and families and staff that's involved. I thank you that there will be no issues, no devastation, no problems, Lord God, concerning anyone being hurt or harmed, Lord. And I thank you that your hand is on Madera Unified School District. Thank you for peace, protection, and love on our campuses. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Purcell. Closed session reportable action, Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, we have none this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent. Adoption of the agenda, Ms. Elizondo.
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold a comment until that item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item not on the board agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions comment.
We're at number item 5, just adoption agenda. You're going too far.
Sorry. Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to the adoption of the agenda. Board Bylaw 9323.2.
Thank you. Superintendent Lyle, does the staff have items to add or remove from the agenda?
We do not this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Trustees, do you have items to add or delete from the agenda? Trustee
Yes.
Ahmad?
No.
Trustee Dybert?
No.
Trustee Cortez?
No.
Trustee Fleek?
No.
Trustee Seibert?
Yes, 7B3. Pull that for comment.
You want to put it all out of the agenda? You want to move it to another location to?
Yeah, just move it so we can discuss it.
To new business?
Yeah, wherever you want.
Okay, so we're gonna add, remove 7B3 from the agenda to new business. So we're not, I'm trying to find a location. I know, we're gonna move it to 11A2. 7B3 is gonna go to 11A2. And 7B3 is approved change order to number for not child nutrition central walk-in freezer project. Is that the one? We're moving that to new business as 11A2. Thank you. Do we have a motion, trustees? Do I have a motion and second to adopt the agenda as presented with the modification?
Trustee Diber, I move to adopt the agenda with the modifications noted of item 7B3 to be moved to new business under 11A2.
Thank you.
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved that by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Fleek, I apologize, to adopt the agenda as presented with the correction modification moving item 7B3. Ms. Elizondo, please pull the board for the record.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Communication, the Madera minutes, Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board and public, we have for you some highlights of the last few weeks, and there are some really exciting ones.
On this special edition of Madera Minutes, we're excited to showcase some of the fun summer activities that students at Madera Unified got to enjoy. Let's dive right in. Students at Cesar Chavez Elementary were among the first to be gifted backpacks and supplies, thanks to the monetary donation of local company Manesha. Madera Unified purchased over 500 backpacks filled with essential school supplies, which were gifted to students at other MUSD elementary schools. Madera Unified students spent the first 3 weeks of their summer break participating in various academic and enrichment classes, such as math, science, art, and other educational activities, which ignited their passion for learning. They were able to take the district's summer school literate voice project class developed by Dr. Bathina, a class designed to let students shine by highlighting their personal stories in a book for everyone to enjoy.
The association, making new friends, and just becoming a better writer in general. This could open up some career choices for me, like being an author and editor for a book, since I have a little bit of practice now because of the camp.
The stories created through the project will be published in a book later this year. Students at John Adams Elementary put on a show, bringing to life a few favorites: The Little Red Hen, Slippery Fish, and Spiderwick. Performers acted out scenes from the books and also put on a musical performance. But the fun did not stop there. More than 3,000 students signed up for the Madera Unified Summer Squad Camps, where they had the chance to participate in a wide range of exciting and enriching activities, such as the Summer Squad Arts Digital Art Camp, where participants learned to design and illustrated digital graphics. And TK2 4th grade students put on their aprons and chef hats and cooked up some yummy recipes at the Summer Squad Chef Camp. The class provided students with recipes and backpacks of cooking equipment to take home. In other fun summer ventures, students stayed active by participating in a number of athletic sports camps. One of those was the HPA Soccer Camp, where students took part in drills, games, and other skill-building activities. That's not all. Some students took a trip outside the district to enjoy other fun adventures, such as the Fresno State Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Camp. There, they gained real-world insights through hands-on projects and collaborative activities. And what better way to beat the Central Valley heat than taking a dip in the river? 1st to 5th grade students got to visit Sycamore Island. Campers were able to swim, learn to canoe, explore wildlife habitats, and more. These were only some of the amazing opportunities students at Madera Unified had. For now, we say goodbye to summer break and hello to a new, exciting school year.
Summer's not what it used to be. No more running in the sprinklers, eating popsicles. It's a little more extravagant than that now, and you can see that it's a lot of fun. And it
Thank you.
takes a lot of work, by the way. So we'll talk about thanking all of those people that have made this possible for the hundreds of kids. There's been hundreds of camps. We'll talk about that in our next board meeting.
Thank you. Now moving on to item 6B, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda. Ms. Elizondo?
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board meeting on items not listed on the board agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold a comment until the item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is open. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item not on the board agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you're joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Tost. I am not a Madera resident. I actually live in Kingsburg, but I am here tonight representing the California Interscholastic Federation Central Section and offering some thanks on behalf of not only our office, but of the 135 schools that make up the Central Section. You may not know this, but Madera Unified is just an incredible supporter of high school athletics, not just within your own community, but throughout our section. And I want to thank a few specific people tonight. And I'm always hesitant to thank specific people because that means I'm going to forget some people. But I will start off with John Fernandez at Madera High School. For many years, John has been our director for our cross-country section championships at Woodward Park. And this is it's just a massive undertaking. And John does such a great job of organizing not only all the schools and all the athletes, but all of the staff from Madera Unified that are there to assist as well. We are always amazed at how many people are there. Athletic trainers, athletic directors, et cetera. It's just a great day, great event for our student athletes, and it couldn't be done without John and all of Madera Unified support. The second event that I really want to say thank you for is our section wrestling championships. And I recognize Joetta, she helped us pass out awards this last year, I believe, at Selland Arena. And so this is our first year of combining our boys and girls wrestling championships into a massive event. And we moved the event to Selland Arena. It used to be at, high school. Boys were at one high school, girls were at another one. We could not do this with our staff. We have a staff of 3 in our office. We came and talked to Marty Bitter and said, hey, is this something Madera Unified might be willing to assist with? And I believe you spoke with Mr. Lyle, and we could not have done this. And there were, I believe it's 500 and some wrestlers that weekend. And it was just a great event. The comments about where are all these volunteers from? Where's all this help coming from? It was all Madera, and it was all Madera Unified. And so just a massive thank you from me personally, and also from all of our student athletes that you will never, ever meet. But they appreciated it greatly. Last but not least, I do want to recognize one individual who would be upset if I did this, but I'm going to do it anyways, and that's Marty Bitter. You probably are aware that Marty has just finished his 2-year term as president of the California Interscholastic Federation. He was not only a great representative of our section, but of Madera Unified and the state of California. He did a wonderful job, and we are so grateful for the time that he's put into that. If you ask him about it, he'll probably tell you all the fun stuff, going to games and things like that. But as you all know, there is another side to that coin. And so we are so grateful that Marty represented our section in such a positive way. So thank you very much. Wish you guys all the best. Have a great school year.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing or hearing no one, I close this public hearing. Consent agenda, Ms. Elizondo.
Items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board or staff requests specific items be considered and discussed separately and or removed from the consent agenda prior to the adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
And I open the consent agenda for public comment, Mrs. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board on an item included in the consent agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Salzer, we did not, oh, hold on. We have Michael Magos. Can you unmute him? Mr. Magos? Hello, Mr. Magos, Michael Magos? He raised his hand and he is unmuted. Right. Oh, he's trying to turn on his mic. Mr. Magos, would you like to address the board? And if you're having technical difficulties, would you like to put something on our chat box straight to me, Maria Elizondo? Unmute it, right? Mr. Magos, are you still having issues or problems with your mic? He said he would like to address, but cannot get his mic to turn on. He apologizes for the delay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we could hear you. Go ahead, Mr. Monk.
Okay, I apologize. I'm using my phone now. I did notice on the agenda the expansion of the Madison Elementary construction. And I'm sorry for the echo. Working on getting that taken care of right now. My name is Michael Magos. I'm from the city of Madera. Lived here almost my entire life. I have a child who is in the dual language immersion program at Madison Elementary. He was one of the first students to be welcomed into the program. I will start this off by saying I believe the program is a true success for the city of Madera and Madera Unified and Madera County Schools as well. I believe that it's a program that's long overdue, and I would hope that it continues into the future. I do want to say after all of that, that there is some disappointment with the readiness of the program for our students that are entering 7th grade. And that will be coming in the next 3 weeks. I know that we've had probably about a handful of meetings only for this expansion project. And it is disheartening to know that we are getting into the 7th grade school year and our students do not have the full space that they will need for learning. And it is coming up quickly that the worry of will this space be ready by the time they enter 8th grade? I want to stress that I truly believe in this program. I want my son to continue in it, but I am disheartened and taken back by the slowness in which this expansion has been going on. I will continue to champion for Madera Unified after this, but it will be something that the sting does stay with me, that our students who have been in this program since kindergarten are entering their middle school years, still wondering where if they have the space adequate for 7th and 8th grade, how that will look. And I know we have other K through 8 sites, but the lack of notification on where we are going and when we are getting there is a tough pill to swallow. I really do hope that we can get this program with this development moved quickly, so that way our students aren't worried about will they have use at all of this K through 8 facility when it comes into effect. Because at this rate, I'm not sure when it will start. As I said earlier, 7th grade starts for these students who have been in this program since kindergarten in 3 weeks. And I know that it takes a lot longer than a year for a school site to be completed when it comes to expansion. So hoping that we can get our students the facilities they need in a timely manner going forward. And this isn't just an issue that these students face right now. This is one that will be impacted by the DLI students going forward, because there are other sites that are having this. And how does the board plan to address that issue? Just some questions that I have off the top of my head. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you letting me speak tonight, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Magos, for sharing your concerns for Madison
A
expansion.
question.
It's not for discussion.
When are the portables going to be ready at Madison?
then we have to move that item out of consent.
Well, it's already in there.
It's already in
We can't
consent.
explain it now. so-
No, it's already here on item 7B2. The mulch room. If you want to move it, then we have to address it and move it into new business.
Talk about it during superintendent's.
If we adopt that, when would those be ready?
We can
We
talk about
we
that. in
could talk about it when,
superintendent's.
Can't talk about it now.
no, we're just saying he could talk about it when he's going to,
Superintendent's.
and superintendent's time to
Okay, all
discuss it
right,
then.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Margos again. Thank you, Mr. Lasoda. See no one else come forward. I close public comment. I now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion. Trustees,
Trustee Diver, I move to approve the consent agenda.
thank you,
Trustee Ahmad, second.
thank you. It has been moved by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Ahmad to approve the consent agenda. There is one resolution in the consent agenda. Mr. Lasondo, please pull the board for the record.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Salazar.
Yes,
President Salazar, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
thank you, Ms. Elizondo. At this time, I would like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the following retirees for their service, not only in Madera Unified, but also for their service and commitment to the Madera community. Steve Hughes, Child Nutrition Warehouse Assistant, will retire on July 31st, 2024, after 15 years of service. Victoria Zamora, Personnel Technician, will retire on August 2nd, 2024, after 28 years of service. Isabel Parejas, Director of Personnel, will retire on August 5th, 2024, after 36 years of service. Superintendent Lau, do you have any administrative announcements?
I do. President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, it's really fun this time of the meeting to bring on some new leaders, and we have several this evening. We have 3 which were previously approved at a special board meeting, but they're here to actually address the board tonight, and we have 3 new ones for you. I think it's 3. Is that not correct, or is it 2? It's 3 new appointees this evening with your action tonight. Let's start first with a lady that joins us from right here in Madera County. She was at Golden Valley as a teacher for a really long time, has really an impeccable resume, and will join us as a program specialist in special education. And we are really excited to welcome Ms. Adrienne Samuelson. Adrienne?
Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and trustees and Superintendent Lyle. My name is Adrienne Samuelson, and I am thrilled to stand before you tonight as a candidate for the Madera Unified School District Program Specialist position. I began my career in special education as a paraprofessional, a role I held for 5 years before transitioning into a special education teacher for 9. During my time as a special education teacher, I gained diverse experience across various educational settings, including working in a 4 through 6 students with autism, a 4 through 6 grade mild moderate SDC, and pioneering a 4 through 6 RSP SDC hybrid. In addition, I have taught preschool TK and kindergarten SDC classes. I am deeply honored and humbled to be recommended tonight for the role of program specialist for Madera Unified School District. This opportunity means the world to me, and I am incredibly grateful for the unwavering support of my amazing team who are here tonight, and who have been with me every step of the way. I also want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to my wonderful parents and loving husband for their constant encouragement and support throughout this journey. Their presence here tonight means everything to me, and I'm so fortunate to have them by my side as I take the next steps in my career. Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Adrienne, we have a really similar resume to start our career. I would just say don't end it up here. All right. Our next vice principal that I'd like to introduce is somebody that the community knows pretty well, especially the community he's about to serve. The coaches, as a coach, the kids know him as C-Rod, and as a vice principal, they're gonna have to call him VP Rod, I guess. We have Chris Rodriguez joining Thomas Jefferson Middle School as our new vice principal. Mr. Rodriguez?
Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Lyle. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to serve the students, staff, and community as Vice Principal at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. I'm excited to continue my growth as an educator in this new role. To my new colleagues, Ms. Pena, Mrs. Kelly, and of course, our principal, Ms. Garcia, thank you for welcoming me into TJ in my new role. I look forward to the work that we're going to do together. Finally, to my wife and family, thank you for your loving guidance and for always being a constant source of support. I want you to know how truly blessed I am to have such a caring and compassionate family who I can always count on. Thank you.
Congratulations. Chris. The good news is Chris hits the ground running. He knows what he's up against. He knows what to do. He knows the school. He knows the community. It just couldn't have worked out a whole lot better. So congratulations. Good luck. I'd also like to introduce a lady who has served Madera Unified very admirably up to now. She actually was one of our very first elementary counselors and put a lot of energy and effort into developing a program that is a point of pride, I think, for the whole community today. And she's also been serving as a vice principal over at Lincoln Elementary School for the last 2 years, I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken. And she makes the jump up to Desmond Middle School, and that's Ms. Marcy Oger. Hi, Marcy.
Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board for this wonderful opportunity and honor of being one of Desmond's new vice principals. If I may, I'd like to take some time to thank the staff, students, and community of Lincoln Elementary for an amazing 10+ years. They've helped shape me into who I am today. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Robin Royston and Diana Marsh for encouraging me and supporting me in leadership. Thank you, district administration, for encouraging me and supporting me in leadership as well. And of course, I appreciate and have a great amount of thanks to Madera Unified Community and Mr. Todd Lyle. Today I have my wonderful new work family that I'm really blessed to have with me this evening, and my husband. I'm very fortunate to have that awesome support system in place, and I wouldn't be here without them. I have been with Madera Unified for 10.5 years, and I've learned so much from the students that I've worked with and the staff that I've collaborated with. Desmond is my new home now, and I look forward to this new role and continuing my new position as a Longhorn. There is, to me, no greater calling than to support, educate, and advocate for children. And I'm very humbled and honored to be given this opportunity to join Desmond's administrative team and continue the wonderful things that already have been established. Thank you.
Congratulations. I'd also like to introduce a Madera product, and she is a Madera High School graduate and has been an outstanding teacher at Madera South High School. Has really put a lot of time and effort into her own professional development and helping others. Has come with some of the most glowing recommendations that we've seen in recent years. And I have a feeling she's going to make a massive impact at Martin Luther King Middle School, Ms. Karen Alvarez.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, board members, and Superintendent Lyle. As a proud Madera native who attended Eastern Nicole Elementary, Dixieland Elementary, and graduated from Madera High School, I am deeply honored to serve my community as a new vice principal at Martin Luther King Middle School. This role holds a special place in my heart as I'm eager to continue making a positive impact on the lives of our students and our broader community. I would like to take this opportunity to also thank my parents, Ishmael and Carmen, my sisters, Kaylee and Kimberly, who are here with me today, for their continuous encouragement and support. I would also like to express my gratitude to Assistant Superintendent of Leadership, Horacio Rodriguez, former Madera South Principal, Amy Anderson, and current Madera South Principal, John Simons, and my entire Madera South community for their invaluable mentorship and support over the last 8 years. My time at Madera South High School as a science teacher and site academic coach has been truly transformative for me as an individual, educator, and leader. Lastly, I would like to take the opportunity to thank MLK Principal Alejandro Juarez for believing in me. I'm excited to join the amazing team at MLK and serve MESD in this capacity. Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity.
Congratulations, Karen, and maybe they'll stop asking you for a pass when you're walking across campus over at MLK, right? At Madera South, they still think you're a teenager. Yeah. I'd like to also introduce another gentleman who doesn't really need a whole lot of introduction for a lot of us. In fact, if you were paying attention to the success of the Stallion baseball program, you heard his name. He was the head coach, but he's also much more than that. He's been a really successful teacher. He's been a successful academic coach. He has a really strong background in restorative practices and building relationships with kids. I think that's going to serve him very, very well as the new vice principal at Monroe Elementary School, an outstanding teacher and coach, Mr. Alan Sandoval.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, and Superintendent Lyle, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to continue serving the community of Madera by being the new vice principal of James Monroe Elementary. Madera Unified has been home to me for the last 10 years and has been the perfect place for me. Through my time at Madera Unified, I have learned what it means to be a student champion and how to work hard so that I can give everything to the students of this community. First, I would like to thank my amazing wife, Andrea, and my amazing daughter, Addison. They actually just stepped out. Addison had to go to the restroom. And my wonderful parents, SB and Francisco, who are here with me today. I would like to thank the entire elementary curriculum and instruction team who for the past year shared great knowledge with me and brought out a side of me that I did not know I had. A special thank you to my coordinator, Kathy Nino, and my director, Nicole Guerrero, who has been a great mentor to me since the moment she hired me at Parkwood Elementary 10 years ago. I also want to thank my Parkwood Elementary family, my Madera South family, and all of the young gentlemen and one young lady that I had the awesome opportunity to coach throughout my 8 years at Madera South. The staffs at both sites and all my players have helped develop me into the educator and person that I am today. With that being said, I am excited to join the James Monroe community. Thank you to Principal Perez for believing in me to take on this new endeavor. I will dedicate myself to the school to continue to support the hard work and effort that has already been started by the teachers and staff. Thank you again for the opportunity to be able to serve Madera Unified School District. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alan. You're going to end up at a school that is really succeeding and has a fantastic culture. I know you're going to take it to the next level. And with that being said, we have a young lady who is steeped in the culture of Madera Unified, that's for sure. She has been literally brought up in it since birth, and I remember when she was born. I just had to say that one more time. I'll try not to ever say that again. But she has been an outstanding special educator, given a great deal of her life and energy to the cause of educating autistic students, which is near and dear to my heart, of course. And she has gone on to help professionally develop teachers and run a more effective and efficient special education department as a program specialist. However, she's now making the jump to Lincoln Elementary School as a vice principal. I'd like to introduce Ms. Courtney King.
Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board and Superintendent Lyle. I am grateful and honored to be given this opportunity to serve Madera Unified as vice principal at Lincoln Elementary. It is very bittersweet to be leaving my special services team, but I am inspired to use my knowledge and expertise to strengthen the special education programming at Lincoln Elementary. I'm very grateful to be at a school where I can continue that work with the full continuum program there. Furthermore, I am eager to join the Lincoln staff and community where we will continue to cultivate a culture of belonging while also striving for high achievement. As a Madera Unified graduate, I am committed to the continued work of serving the community that has shaped me. I want to just take a moment to thank my family and some special educators that have supported me through this journey. So first and foremost, my husband, Jared, and then also my 3 little boys, Hudson, Parker, and Landon, that are sitting back there, my parents and my in-laws, and then my brother and sister-in-law who are all supporting me tonight. I also would like to take the time to thank Becky McCaney and Pilar Bell for all of their support and guidance over the last couple of years, just shaping me into a leader that can take on this new position. And I would also like to thank my program specialist team that I've worked with over the past couple of years. They have really helped to shape me as well. And then last but not least, Robin Royston, who is not only who I'm going to be working with from here on out, but has been my mentor through clearing my administrative credentials. So it's really awesome to be able to work with her. So thank you, everyone.
Congratulations to everyone. And there's a lot of proud schools, just got a little bit prouder. And there's several good reasons for that. And as you can see, this is a really strong group coming in to support us and lead some of our teachers. I think we're going to have one of the best years we've ever had in the district's history. Congratulations, everyone.
Okay, thank you all. Information and reports. Item number 8A, union time. At this time, I invite the presidents of the unions to address the board. Mr. Holder. Thank you, Mr. Holder. And any other union presidents?
No other President Salazar.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Elizondo. Superintendent's time.
President Salazar, I want to apologize because I think, and I didn't have it on the list here, and that's something that, you know, I'll take accountability for. But we have Noemi Castillas here, who is really, I mean, we're really excited. We announced you earlier, but you weren't present. I'm so sorry about that. But if you wouldn't mind, if we could offer just for a moment, I'd like for Noemi to be introduced to the board so you associate a name with a face. And she's about to take on the vice principal role over at Alpha and be a Gator. So Noemi, would you like to please come up and please let's make this right? And my apologies to you.
So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and Superintendent Lyle. So thank you again for letting me present today. It's okay.
I will buy you lunch out of that one.
No, it's fine.
Something has to happen.
So I'm super excited to be here tonight. I am very grateful to be given the opportunity, of course, to serve as the vice principal of Alpha Elementary. I am who I am today because of Madera Unified. I started my educational career way back when, let's say 1995 in Millview Elementary as an Eagle, progressed to MLK, you know, as a Jag, and then of course graduated from Madera High as a Coyote. So I feel like I am very connected to Madera Unified. I went off to college. I got my teaching credential. I came back and I started my teaching career at Sierra Vista, and I taught various grade levels there. I moved to Virginia Lee Rose, where I was a STEM teacher for 3 years, and then decided, you know what, I need something new in my life. So I decided to go get my master's in leadership and administration, and currently get to be with a mentor that I had years ago. She was my mentor when I first started my year one. So Jennifer Sauceda, she now gets to be my mentor as a VP, and I feel like that's going to be a great pairing. So I'm super excited. I'd also like to thank my main supporters, which is my family, of course. So my parents, my dad, who is no longer with us. He's the main one who always, you know, strive to tell me that, you know, you could do whatever you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. So I want to thank him, of course. My siblings, my nieces and nephews, and my fiance, which is here today. He always has to hear all my chaos that is happening at work. So I thank him for that. And of course, my fur babies, because you have to thank those fur babies because they, you know, always help when I get home to de-stress. So I am super excited to begin this new chapter, of course, as an Alpha Gator. So thank you.
So before you go, let's just be real about this. It was not always easy.
It was not always easy.
Right? I mean, there were some challenges that you experienced at one school site, went to another, reinvented yourself, and helped the entire STEM program get off the ground.
Get off the ground,
right?
yes.
For the whole district.
Yes.
And just so we're really clear, your poor fiance, you bring home chaos now.
Yes.
Just wait.
He's gonna get to hear a lot more.
Let's make sure we get a few more fur babies. That'll help. I mean, you'll get more time with ESPN, and you'll have a little breathing space.
Don't tell him that because I bring home cats all the time.
Wow. Well, we're not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Congratulations,
thank you.
Alpha. It just feels like the right fit all the way around. And I can tell that in the room, as the academy has progressed, you are swimming with the fish as if you've been there all along.
Yes,
So
thank you.
congratulations and
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Good evening.
I apologize for that. I feel terribly about it. What I will do though is I'll make sure that I clean this up and go pretty quickly. And I want to share a few things that I know are of interest to the board and public regarding Madison Elementary School. So first, what I'd like to say is that thank you to the board for allowing a group of Ed Services directors and our 2 new area assistant superintendents to go with us to Seattle for the National Center for Education and the Economy. We had a really good time, learned a lot, got a chance to really bond and to problem solve and set the direction, set some really key points of direction for the school year. It was a very successful trip. I think we gained a lot by getting a chance to be together and learn together. So thank you to the trustees for allowing that and supporting it. I also want to thank both Ms. Soto, Ms. Martinez, and Ms. Elizondo for their support of our retreat last week. Ms. Soto, I did an awful lot to help us plan that and put it all together. There's a few people here at the dais who understand exactly how challenging that is to bring together 20 senior executive cabinet members. Were not always the easiest to deal with, but Ms. Rock and Chef Sanchez did a fantastic job helping us to cook a really wonderful French country lunch for our safety officers and our school resource officers. I think we gained a lot from that experience, and I hope we gained a lot from the next day of learning together and direction setting for the district. Today, we are engaged in that very thing, but at a much grander scale with all of our administrators, all of our vice principals, directors, and coordinators. And we have already now completed 2 days. I want to thank Assistant Superintendent of Leadership, Rossi Rodriguez, and Gloria Garcia and his staff. They have done a really wonderful job with their area assistant superintendents and their administrative assistants. They've done a wonderful job putting it together, and we have teachers. We had a really great panel discussion with teachers today, some exemplary teacher leaders. But what we are seeing is a lot of learning peer-to-peer from our principals who are doing some really good work and sharing that good work with others and helping build the capacity. As was said earlier by a director to all of you, it gets better every year, and this feels like a high water mark for the district. And then lastly, please be advised that the district is in the process of transitioning to a new board meeting agenda system offered by CSB. You may remember that we decided that a while ago, and it's in the process now. Staff's been trained and have been using the system for the last few weeks, and the next board meeting agenda will be produced in the new system. We'll see how it goes. Your grace and patience is appreciated. So more information will be provided to the board in the upcoming newsletter. And I'd like to address the issues at Madison, if I could, just for a moment, because several of us have some real personal connections to those because our children and grandchildren go there. So, and some of us live right across the street. So there's that. I do want to share that we do have room at Madison currently for the 7th graders that we are bringing forward. We have current room. We don't need to add in any facilities to start the school in August. If that is in any way out in the universe, I wish we could retract it and pull it back. That is not necessary. It's also important to know that we have been awaiting, the board took action months ago to approve the plans, but they had to be submitted to the Division of State Architects. And as has been shared with you in the past here with other building projects, that has become a much slower process, and Division of State Architects is working, I think it must be about round the clock now. I think there's that much school building because of some real significant needs across the state, which will be hopefully addressed by an upcoming state bond ballot initiative. But there is significant construction being completed or being proposed all around the state of California. And we are in no control of the timeline of the approval of Division of State Architects. So that's not to pass the buck, that's to just speak responsibly about the facts. And we should also know that we don't know when we will get that approval for the buildings and the designs that you approved months ago, but we believe it could be in September. That's fingers crossed. If this is real wood, maybe for good luck. We also believe that we'll begin the bid process as soon as we get those documents. You know, the bid process is a very difficult and complicated process. It is a legal process, and so we have to adhere to timelines and make sure that everyone has a proper opportunity to bid the work. We go through that process and in the fall, and that hopefully will put us in a position, weather permitting and timelines permitting, to get shovels in the ground and be building in the winter time. That's the goal. Right. So what we approved tonight in our consent agenda was for us to be able to bring in portable buildings and get in the line to get them, because they aren't always just ready to be transported and installed. It takes a while to get them and to get them installed with all the engineering that goes with them, because that's a whole different process as well. Nothing is as easy as people imagine that it is. We hope to get that all underway, and by the fall of 2025, those buildings will be in for the kids to inhabit. And we're going to push on this timeline of construction as fast as we can. So in the spring, we're inhabiting brand new buildings, and the students will graduate from those programs after having been the first students in them. And in that courtyard, we should be able to hold a promotion ceremony. That is the plan. And we are fast tracking it to the degree that it's possible, and that's legally possible against all the other timelines that we do not control. So I wanted you to just be aware of that and know that, you know, we have a team that's on the job working as hard as they can. It's very important to them, and they know it's very important to us. Like I said, there's several of us who have a real personal. So we hear the parents, we understand. We've had several meetings with our parents, and if there needs to be more, we will certainly be responsive to that need. So I hope that's helpful to the board and to the public.
Trustees, do we have any questions for Superintendent? Trustee Seibert? Your Seibert. Yeah.
Microphone, please.
The mic.
Sorry about that.
It just goes to show that when we gotta make our plans early when we're gonna build something, because it takes a lot of time. We gotta wait for the state architect and everybody to approve our plans. So you've got to really, you gotta be proactive and start a year or two earlier and think we need to. You be organized to get these things ready to approve before we need them. You know, if we needed something next year, we need to have it approved like a year earlier. So, because that's what we run into all the time. We always seem like we're a little bit late getting the things built because we're slow at adopting and approving. And now we've done a master plan. And so we have things on our future needs list that we're going to build. And we got to stay on top of that and not let money sift through our hands to other little projects and then not have the money to do things that we've planned for in the future. But I mean, over the years, it seems like we're always a little bit late because we're not proactive enough. So hopefully, as we move forward, we don't do that.
We understand, and the building program that we're engaged in now is massive. I mean, it really is. It's massive. The number of projects is much more extensive sometimes than I think we all give ourselves credit for. We give the team that's doing all this work credit for. They're working on multiple very large projects, including King Hussein School, the Madison expansion, stadium redesign at Madera High School, the new women's field house and weight room complex. I mean, there is a lot of work that we are doing and pushing through DSA, and we've done a really good job as an organization stewarding the tax dollars to make these things happen, to make the investments for our students in our community. It is really challenging, no doubt. We can put together a timeline of the board's approval of the K-8 concept, and you remember that discussion and debate went on for several months, and we provided, Ms. Sissel and I provided a pretty detailed accounting of the research around that. And that still required a little bit more discussion even beyond that. So this has been a very engaged, complex, multi-year process. That is absolutely accurate.
And, I can't really, I can't blame staff for all this, things being a little drawn out. A lot of times it's the board, not, maybe ready to make a decision or give the information, and because sometimes we have a meeting and then we don't make a decision in the past. But I think now we have that timeline set up, that our projects that we're going to be focused on, so I think we're doing a lot better.
And we appreciate the organization that you all have invested in to get that list produced and lined out for us. And I think that really helps the team that's working on it, because they then really understand that they have the board's approval to get this work done and keep it streamlined. So you're right. I appreciate that.
Trustees, have any further question, Ms.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert?
Yes, how many seventh graders will we have in 23, 24?
Yeah, I think it's roughly 3 sections, if I'm not mistaken. Is that not correct? I mean, that's what we're about 90 is what
90?
we're anticipating.
Okay, and how many, and what room exactly they're gonna be housed at, do you know? Right. Okay.
So just so because I know this is of interest, the answer that was provided by Deputy Superintendent Schwartz, this is now me talking to the Zoom land, was that the principal makes the decision about where those go. We want to leave that up to the site because they have to own and operate this. We don't want to dictate that from on high. So we do have enough classrooms as it stands currently to house these students. So it's really no different than the situation at Howard or any other of our K-8s. Exactly which rooms those are, I don't think any of us have that. We probably have it in our inbox somewhere. I mean, we could probably search that and get it to you this weekend for sure in the newsletter. But we do know that Mr. Espinoza and his team know exactly which classrooms they are. That's not a mystery at all.
Yeah, no, I was gonna see if maybe
And
the
you know
newsletter
the
would be
site quite
good.
well. So when you're asking from a point of view of which classrooms are which, you know them, yeah.
Just to know whether they'll be together with, with the sixth graders, or they will be in that wing, or I'm pretty sure they will be there. It's probably the principals reorganizing, but if you have that information in the newsletter, that would be great.
Okay, we'll do
Thank
that
you.
for you.
Trustees, have any further questions? Okay, I do. I know we're getting the 2 buildings for the 8th graders to prepare that for next year. But my concern, and I've asked about this before, where are these kids gonna eat? Are we gonna create a quad area for them where they're gonna be having their meals? Because that cafeteria is too small. And to starting already with this new school year, I just was told by 3 parents today that were having issues registering their kids for 7th grade. So those things, we gotta make sure we're on top of them. And also the expanding of the parking lot, the dropping off, the safety, one of our main parents that's been in DLI and all those different committees. Mr. Menace has always been a concern of the safety, and he emailed me last night again, the safety of the dropping off in the parking lot this new school year. But those are the concerns there. And also we already I went in, I spoke with Ms. Ochoa on the curriculum earlier this year. The arts, I know we're hiring a new music teacher, but the main concern was the registration, where the kids are going to be eating, and a drop off and safety for those students.
So just point by point, yes to the food area being improved. So we are adding, so back into the microphone for those out there listening, we are adding shade structures between wings. We are adding concrete and concrete benches so students can eat outside like they do at Jefferson and Desmond and at MLK. And that's underway now, and we have even a more permanent solution down the road a little bit farther because that's built into the master plan. The second question that was asked, or the second concern, was around registration. We'll take that and work on it. We have not heard of those concerns. This is the first we've heard of it tonight, but we'll work on that. I'm not sure registration's even started yet, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check. So it has opened up this week. Okay. Oh, we did that for our sons. We did the data confirmation, yes. So we'll look into that, and if there's some extra needs, then we'll figure out how we can solicit the people who have those needs so we can answer them. I know our parent resource centers are a great place to go as a resource. They have been for quite a long time. And the third point, President Salazar, that you asked about was food, drop off and safety. I think there's a bit of a challenge, and the staff in the room can clear this up for me if I have this wrong. But if I'm not mistaken, we're holding about steady on the population of the campus because we're not adding in more sections of kindergarten. We're actually throttling back so that, because we have other programs for them to go to now with both Washington and Pershing, we are holding the population as it stands. So it's not growing because we're adding in seventh graders. So we shouldn't see any uptick of another 100 bodies and 100 cars trying to get to school. We actually should see some pretty good order because it's the same parents with the same kids bringing their kids to school as they have now for many years. When the program is all done, the building program is all done, there will be an improved drop-off area and an expanded parking lot that's designed to handle a slight increase in the overall population of Madison when we have the eighth graders there as well. So we have that built into the plan. We'll work with our parents to understand it as best we can and make sure that their fears are not realized and are addressed.
Okay, thank you. Maybe consider doing I know we've done a couple of town hall meetings with some of these, with the parents, but maybe sending out a communication, updating them, like the drop off and the safety, like you just mentioned, just and the, where we're gonna have their area for eating. So that way they know and their concerns already met and they don't have that, because I have one parent that already wants to move their student. And so that way we don't have those kind of reactions. So maybe a communication to these parents, they're notifying them what's the update of their student attending Madison as a seventh grader.
Okay, we can work on that. We can definitely push out something that presents the majority of the information they're looking for and a way for them to contact us if there's more. Once the school year gets started, we could certainly talk a little bit more about what seventh and eighth grade looks like after the school year gets started. Putting a meeting together before school is probably going to be a little bit of a challenge as our principals are working to get the school up and running. But we won't try to starve anybody of any information. We'll try to get as much out there as we can.
Yeah, the information doesn't have to be a meeting, but I think just an information, just some bullet points of some of the concerns they make. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now we're on to new business. Old business. Let me see if I lost my train of thought. What? Okay. I now entertain a motion and a second to approve the 10A1. Please, well, thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing none come forward, I now close public comment. Trustees, do you have any other questions? We already asked our questions. I now entertain a motion and a second to approve item number 10A1. Please state your name when you make a motion and the second motion.
Did you already open for the public comment? You did?
Yeah, because
Okay.
that's when Mr. Mago started talking.
No, that was for consent.
Well, you guys said 10A1 and that's. Okay. Sorry. Old business 10A1 Global Adoption of the Revised Madera Unified School District Board Policies. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, I mean, you've been along this ride with us now for, some of you have been on this ride now for years up to this point because we had a challenging slowdown to bringing forward our board policies. We don't need to rehash that at all. You also put in a lot of time and effort to come in and to work, and President Salazar in particular, you did, to come in and work with CSBA when our consultant came to help us with a global update. You've all received your box. It's been a while now. Hopefully it's not turned into furniture at your house just yet with all of those printed board policies and packets, but it was a pretty extensive print job, wasn't it? And an unbelievable job to just even review all of them. Tonight, what we're asking for is a move to approve these policies on a global update. And basically for the general public, because I know that those of us in the room know what that means. That means we're approving every board policy that exists and is recommended by California School Board Association. We already have them. They are already on the books. Some of them are a little older than we'd like them to be. This would get us to the point where the vast majority of our policies are updated and legally compliant with Ed Code and labor law. As a result of this action tonight, we would be compliant and in good standing. I think all of our legal counsel would support that. And it also opens the door for a new group of updated board policies that are out waiting on deck for you. I want to just be honest about that because they're going to come to you on a quarterly basis, and we don't really control the number that get pushed from CSBA to every school district in California. That really is determined by the California State Legislature. And as CSBA reacts to those laws that change policy, we await the legal team at CSBA's advice as to what those policies should look like so that we're in compliance. So, on a quarterly basis, those will be released. There isn't necessarily a lot of context to them. They are, randomized, to be honest, and they come from a whole lot of different areas of board policy at once. But they are really important that we stay current so that we're in good stead. So tonight just gets us up to level playing ground, to the level playing field with the rest of the state. We are not unique in this. This is a real challenge for school boards to stay up. It probably wouldn't be as unique an issue if we wouldn't have so many laws that get passed in California, but we have a lot of legislators and a lot of states are a lot smaller with a lot less people in the state legislature and in the Capitol. We have the most people in elected office up at the state level. They are active and always trying to improve conditions. And as a result, we will always be trying to improve conditions here. So please know that that's coming, but this just gets us to a level playing field.
Thank you, Superintendent. I now open this item for public comment. Mrs. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Salazar, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing none come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff?
I do. Actually, just suggest, the last time you brought this, I mentioned to you that I learned at one of the CSBA conferences that the ARs don't have to come to the board.
Correct.
So I don't know, you guys did your research. I would like to ask our fellow trustees if that's okay, because that will give a little more freedom for them if there's a change immediately that you don't have to wait for a board to approve, and that was one of the advantages. And it also gives us less material for us to have to study if we don't have to. ARs are usually just for, for you to follow. And then the other thing is maybe the quarterly reports be added to our board governance calendar they're working on, so we know when to expect, because CSBA tells you it's in March, usually July, October, and I can't remember what other months. So there's 3 or 4. So if you can just add that, we'll know when to expect to see. Maybe there might be 1 or 2, hopefully from now on, just 2 or 3 at a time, and the way it won't be so big. So just those 2 comments, President.
Thank you. Trustee Cortez,
No questions.
thank you. Trustee Ahmad?
No question.
No. Seibert?
No.
Mr. Clerk?
No, thank you.
I had noted the same thing as trustee Dybert, that the quarterly ones, that we could just review those and approve as they're coming along. We make it easier, we'll be overloaded like we did this last time. Okay. And now I entertain a motion and a second to approve item 10A1. Please state your name when you make a motion and second the motion.
Trustee Fleek, I move to approve the global adoption of the revised Madera Unified School District Board policies.
Second?
Trustee Ahmad, second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Fleek and second by trustee Ahmad to approve item 10A1. Mr. Lozano, please pull the board.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Trustees, thank you for reviewing these policies. I know it was a big task, but thank you for taking the time of your life to review these policies. Now moving on to item number 11, new business. Item number 11A, administrative and supportive services, approved resolution number 4-2024-25, requesting county levy tax or CVC in 2024-25 using estimated debt service. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, as we transition, I want to just note 2 things. One, the advice of trustee Dybert is well taken and well served. Appreciate that. And I want to also thank Ms. Soto for working extremely hard to get this organized, to get us across this finish line. And you got us there tonight as a team. We appreciate that greatly. But Ms. Soto, thank you for the Herculean effort on your end to make that happen for all of us. And with that, I turn the podium over to Mr. Deputy Superintendent Schwartz for this item.
So good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and trustees. This item is asking the board to approve a resolution required by the Madera County Treasurer Tax Collector in order to include our future Series C bond sale on the tax rolls for 2025. So in November of 2018, the voters of Madera passed Measure M, as you all remember very well, with a 64% approval rating. The measure authorized the district to sell $120 million in general obligation bonds. In June of 2019, the district sold $35 million worth of the authorization to help complete MTech. In July of 2020, the district sold another $35 million to support the land acquisition, design, approval, and first phases of construction for a new K-8 elementary school, now known as King Hussein School. Increment 1 of this project has been awarded and work is currently beginning. I believe they're mobilizing this week and supposed to be getting some equipment on site. We are currently bidding increment 2 of the project, which are the buildings. We anticipate this coming to the board in late August, early September for approval. Our favorite DSA, we're still waiting on approval from them, but it's out to bid. We are being told that it should, we are supposed to get it back next Friday. Part of the process with DSA, I don't want to get too off task here, but the architect and the design team goes back and forth with DSA. We get initial comments back. The architect and the design team responds to those comments. And what's happening recently is comments that weren't initiated in the first round are showing up on the second round. And then we're getting third and fourth round of comments. Whereas at one point in time, we used to get all the comments and be able to address them and get approval. So we are getting, I think it's the third or fourth round of comments on increment 2. But we should be getting that, and our current timelines and capital burn rates, as I call them. We anticipate the district spending the current $35 million by March of 2025. So in order to continue with the construction of the school and not delay, the district will need to sell the remaining $50 million in authorization from Measure M prior to March of 2025. So we're currently working with our finance team on the timing of that. Since the bond sale will occur after the county treasurer tax collector calculates the 2025 tax rates, this resolution lets the county treasurer or tax collector know that we anticipate the future sale and asks them to begin the tax collection process based on the estimated debt service schedule provided. So failure to submit this resolution prior to July 31st actually results in the district needing to pay for capitalized interest for the year. And this would increase the cost of issuance to the district and the taxpayers. So by not approving this resolution, putting the tax collector and treasurer on notice costs the community more, because what would happen is we would have to sell the bonds at a premium. So then the community's paying back a larger amount of money. So the premium that we would sell them for now would help pay for the tax for this 25 school year. So I'll do my best to answer any questions.
Trustees, do we have any questions for our staff? Trustee Dybert,
I don't, thank you.
Trustee Cortez,
None, thank you.
Trustee Ahmad, Trustee Fleet,
No questions, thank you.
Trustee Seibert,
Excuse me, no question.
Clerk Mendoza.
No questions, thank you.
So I know that they assessed the taxes in October, right? It's another tax bill. I know the county's reassessing a lot of property tax, a lot of properties.
That's what they're doing right now. So
Yeah.
that's why we have to notify them before July 31st,
Mhm.
because they are doing the reassessments and then determining the tax rates here in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Yep. It's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, I just need to clarify that to the community. Any other questions? Thank you, Superintendent Schwartz. I now open this item for public comment. Mrs. Elizondo?
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Salzer, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. See no one come forward. I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any other questions for staff? Where we said no. I now entertain a motion and a second to approve item 11A1. Please state your name when making the motion and seconding the motion.
Trustee Ahmad make a motion to approve 11A1.
Thank you.
as stated.
Have a second.
Trustee Cortez, I second.
It has been moved by Trustee Ahmad and second by Trustee Cortez to approve item 11A1. Ms. Elizondo, please pull the board for the record.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez, Trustee Dybert, Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Salzer.
Yes.
President Salzer, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Now back to new business. Item 11A2, which we replace 7B3, which will be to, I wrote it down. Yeah, approve change order number 1 for the Child Nutrition Center walk-in freezer project.
So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, I want to acknowledge that Trustee Seibert, you know, as it was shared with me earlier, would have contacted us to have this conversation ahead of schedule rather than have it as a pulled item. But we were in the academy and he was being thoughtful about the fact that, you know, we were engaged in that administrative work for everyone. So we appreciate that on the one hand, and we understand that we need to be accountable for some of the information here on the other hand, so trustees understand what is being asked and why. So to do that, we have Deputy Superintendent Schwartz.
Yeah, so I'll do my best to kind of talk us through this. I know Brian Chirito, Director Chirito, is on vacation this week, but he's I think he jumped on Zoom so he can fill in some of the missing gaps if I don't explain it appropriately. But we, as you know, the board approved moving forward with a freezer project at the central kitchen at Child Nutrition. And so as part of those plans of that freezer project, it requires fire sprinklering. And anytime you have fire sprinklering, it requires a certain water pressure. And our engineer on this project happened to use water pressure calculations from a project we did at Child Nutrition a couple years earlier. So they used the same calculations for water pressure. As the project started into construction and we started to take actual pressure calculations out there, it was determined that the water pressure is not going to come close to meeting the needs of the fire suppression system. So the engineer worked with the contractor and us to try to determine what is the best possible solution. And at that point, it was a very expensive one, but it required installing I believe it was an 8-inch line directly tapped into the city of Madera's water line, solely for the purpose of providing water under the appropriate pressure for that fire sprinkler system. Since that time, and anytime we have change orders, I think it's important for the board to understand that those change orders are vetted pretty extensively with the engineers and the consultants. They look at every piece of equipment that goes on site and how much does it cost to rent that piece of equipment by the hour? What's the hourly manpower rate? The 8-inch pipe, how much does that cost per square foot? How much does it cost to trench and do these tie-ins? So they really do a good job of vetting that. And that's what our CM does with us as well, vetting costs on change orders. But since that time, we've discovered that the city of Madera has a real problem with water pressure on that line in that area. As we started projects with the Memorial Stadium modernization, as well as the Madison 7th and 8th grade building that we talked about extensively tonight, there's not enough pressure on the Olive Avenue line to supply for fire suppression on those projects. So we're having to design booster pumps and other pieces of equipment we're having to add into these projects to provide the water pressure necessary to get approval and sign off on these projects. So this change order, I'd like to think it was preventable. It wouldn't have been a change order. It would have been an upfront cost. Because I think if the engineering team was out there and actually taking pressure readings in person versus using a prior reading, they would have designed this in the first place, and it would have been a part of the bid, and we would have paid for it up front and known we were paying for it up front versus experiencing what we're experiencing now, which I hate, is a project that we thought was going to cost this much just got added to by almost a couple $100,000. So, and I know Director Chirito's online. If there's additional questions, he can help me answer. So I believe Trustee Seibert had a question.
You answered a lot of my questions there. So the city's got low pressure. So you put an 8-inch line in there, it's still got low pressure.
Yep.
So why aren't we just putting in a booster pump?
Well, I think, and Brian might be able to talk to some of those discussions with Lake, but I think that they felt like this was the best solution and they were gonna have to put that line in with a booster pump anyways. And I think they felt like this 8-inch line, they could do it without the booster pump.
So are the facilities that you already have there, the sprinkler system, the pressures not good enough in those buildings?
I'd like to say that it is, but my belief is when we installed those, the pressure was good enough. Right now, I don't think it's good enough coming off that main line, the city's main water line.
Yeah, Sandon,
Yes.
obviously we don't know, what Trustee Seibert is, if we have enough water pressure, obviously when we did build it and calculate it, there's enough water pressure in the system to service the existing units that are there. It just that particular line, taking it from the main, the main line over on the north end of the building and being able to service the other large walk-in freezer plus the walk-in cooler plus the length of the run to get it over there. Obviously, the water pressure from the city has an issue with that, but I think it's the long run as well, up and down and through the system to get it, and as well as servicing the new freezer. So Trustee Seibert, like the new freezer was, like Sandon said, directly tied in to the line, and it's a straight shot basically from the line to the new freezer with a bigger 8-inch pipe. And there's, what they're telling us is there's enough pressure to service the new unit with that 8-inch line to make that happen. And I don't know if it's a booster pump, but there is, I'm drawing a blank right now, but they did install some type of valve or something just inside our, the east gate of the fuel pump station. There is an additional system or pump or some type of very large valve that is right there inside the fuel station. They tapped into the middle of the road into that pump or valve, and then the valve runs from there. The pipe runs into the brand new freezer.
One of my questions was, why do we need sprinklers in a freezer?
Trustee Seibert, we asked the same thing. It's a running joke that myself and Assistant Director Miller laugh and talk about a lot, but unfortunately, those are the rules. That's what we have to go by. We think it's a little crazy to need sprinklers in a freezer, but it makes sense to someone, but it may not make sense to us.
Yeah, those sprinklers might be frozen, it may not work.
I couldn't agree more with you, Trustee.
We had the same discussions.
Oh. So the city has a problem with the pressures in those lines for our future buildings at the stadium and everything?
Yes.
So how are we going to address that?
They're troubleshooting from their end, and from our end, like I said, we're planning to add booster pumps to mitigate the problem on our end, so it doesn't hold us up.
Okay, thank you.
Trustees, any other questions?
Yes. You're saying this is going to be a booster pump, not the new sprinklers, but it says new sprinklers. They're going to be
No,
adding new sprinklers?
this is, the change order on this is actually an 8-inch line that feeds the fire sprinklers. When I'm referring to the booster pumps, it's what we're going to have to add to our future projects at Memorial Stadium and Madison.
This one was not done when they submit the plan in the beginning for the remodel. It was not required at that time and now
No,
it's required?
the fire sprinkler calcs that they used were inaccurate and they weren't accurate, so we didn't get the pressure.
I live right off of Olive, and we do have water pressure problems because, you either water the lawn or do the laundry, but you can't do everything. So it's not good.
The city's well aware of it.
Okay, trustees, any other questions? Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Director Schwartz. And I'll open the for public oh no, we don't need for public comment. So we entertain a motion to approve this. Yeah.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Sondo. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, you already asked your questions. And now entertain a motion and a second to approve item 11A2. Please state your name when making a motion. And second the motion.
Clerk Mendoza, I move to approve 11A2, formerly 7.B3.
Thank you. Do I have a second, trustees?
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Clerk Mendoza and second by Trustee Fleek to approve item 11A2. Ms. Sondo, please pull the board.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Moving on to item number 12, announcements. Superintendent Lau, do you have any announcements for the board?
Only 3. Our Human Resource Department will host our annual Student Champion event at Madera South High School in their cafeteria on August 6th. It's set to begin at 7:30 a.m. with breakfast and lunch will be provided. The onboarding event is provided for all newly hired certificated employees so they understand the board's expectations, our community compact, and how to be the best student champion our students need. The very next day on August 7th, we have a new teacher orientation, which will also be held in the same location. The orientation will again begin at 7:30 with breakfast, and invitations to both of these events have been sent out via the board calendar. So if you'd like to attend, just click yes, and then we'll see you there. We also want to inform the board as a reminder that on August 12th, we will start our first day of school. It's a little bit later than it was last year, but man, does that still sound so early, doesn't it? I just miss those after Labor Day, years. It's been a long time, but we are pretty optimistic that our teams are ready, and you can feel the optimism amongst our administrators at our administrative academy. We're feeling pretty good about the prospects for this coming year, and we just wanted to remind you, and we'll remind the city for safety's sake, that our kids and their parents will be back out on the streets on the 12th of August to start a new school year. So thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you, Superintendent. Miscellaneous board member committee and information reports. Trustees, this is an opportunity for you to provide the board with a brief update on or report from your committee meetings or events you have attended. Trustee Dybert.
Thank you, President Salazar. Last year's student board members, when they finished their term, I said, don't forget about Madera and don't forget to contact me. So Trustee Savalsa contacted me towards the end of June. They said, Trustee Dybert, I didn't forget, and our trustees want to get back to you when they were finished with school. So we met at Starbucks. I met with Trustee Savalsa, Trustee Santos, Trustee Sosa Ramirez, and Trustee Guillen. You can see they've grown. Some of them have gained a little weight and they're more mature. They were, for the most part, they all did really well the first year. Trustee Savalsa said that the leadership skills that he learned, being responsible with, the agenda and all of that, helped him a lot. He and Trustee Sosa Ramirez, I think, are there at UCLA. Trustee Santos and Trustee Guillen at the Fresno State. So they would like to come and meet with you and talk to you about it. So maybe Superintendent Lyle, we can give you my feedback. I meant to tell you that the other day, but I forgot. Other than that, I just want to tell you that I attended the 2 plays, the Madera theory project did. One of them was the Odd Couple, the female version. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun being at the play. There were two students that play. I've never seen the movie or the series, so this was new for me. And my husband was trying to explain to me. But they were supposed to be, the characters were two young single guys from Spain that live above the building. And one of the cast members was so funny. He laughed the whole time, and his laugh was so contagious that the whole room was laughing with him. It was just so much fun. So a lot of the cast members were adults, but one of them was our student. And I really, really like, he says, you'll remember me one day, so remember my name. So, and I shared that with Superintendent Lyle. I would like to follow up on that student because
I have a
And-
follow-up for you on that.
yes, he has a humble beginning, and I know his parents probably don't know much where to get help. The other play that I attended was Aladdin, dual language play. And I was so proud of some of the kids that were never, they were not, they're monolingual, English is their language. I went and I say hello to the young man that played Aladdin. And I said, wow, very good in your Spanish. You know, he's African American. And I said, wow, how many months did you practice? He says, I only had 2 or 3 weeks max, he said, but my teachers were there. And, you know, it was so good. I could understand him, and the kids, they did an amazing job. There were little ones to, you know, all the way to adults. So I encourage you, the Little Mermaid is coming up. So I'm not sure if I'll be around for that, but if you have time, go and see it. It's just, it's a lot of work to do that, a lot of studying, a lot of, you know, giving up the weekends and the evenings, and they did a great job. It was just something that made me feel good and made me proud that Madera, we don't have to go that far to see good plays. So that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Cortez,
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes, I attended a town hall meeting for reopening of Madera Community Hospital. It's a good news after 18 months closure. They are anticipating to reopen in October, I believe. That's what they said. And they already started remodeling. They are already, most of the license they already have acquired. So hopefully it's a good news that they will reopen. It's not going to be completely open, but they are going to be open most of the stuff. So that's a good news.
thank you. Trustee Fleek,
Okay, the summer school graduation for the 2024 school year was held at Madera High School. There were, what, about 45 students, and they were so serious. Superintendent Lyle was trying to get them to laugh and smile. It was funny. It's always interesting to attend budget workshops. They let you know the good, the bad, and the possible. But all depends on the governor and the other government officials to make decisions. And it always seems like it's, you know, next meeting, they're gonna know, next meeting. It doesn't seem to happen. All our board members attended a special board meeting with CSBA on Saturday, July 13th. The Madera Administrative Academy started Monday and finishes up tomorrow. It was exciting to watch everyone at their tables planning for the 2024-25, 25th school year. And the new staff members that I talked to expressed that they couldn't wait to start the school year because they were so excited from all that they were learning and all that they were planning. So it was really encouraging. Thank you.
Trustee Seibert,
No report, thank
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I too attended the summer graduation, and although there was seriousness among the group, I'm sure they got a chance to go home and say, I did it. Thank you.
as for myself, I attended, like Trustee Fleek shared, we all attended our CSBA special workshop, governance board. And then I attended also the town hall meeting for the hospital, and they'll be starting their hiring in September, hopefully open in October. So it's good news for the community. Other than that, that's it for myself. Excuse me. Advanced planning. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for August 13th here in Madera Unified School District Boardroom. Item number 15, suggested future agenda items. Trustees, do you have any items or suggested staff to present in the future? Trustee Dybert?
Just a reminder, I know Superintendent Lyle, his staff is working on the board governance calendar just to ensure that we have some of those NWA reports dates may be included for the year. That's all I can think of right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Cortez?
I think I also like to just make sure that we do have those NWA dates, report dates and also on the calendar.
Thank you. Trustee Ahmad?
Nothing at this.
Trustee Fleet?
Nothing, thank you.
Trustee Seibert?
Yes, couple, I mean, something ought be quick. On our board newsletter. Some of like board member requests or questions that you have down in that newsletter. Some of them stay on there too long.
Okay.
And it kind of, you need to clear it off once they've been on there maybe once or twice and then, clean that up. And I was reading comments on that game fees. They wanted to go with the GoFundMe. And I don't think all parents in this district would know how to use GoFundMe.
It's
And may not all have credit cards.
It's actually, it's not GoFundMe, but I know what you mean. It's an automated touchless system. It's a different system, has a different name, and it's similar to that, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anybody to get that confused. We don't
Yeah,
use
so I'm
that.
not, maybe I don't have the right name, but parents should be able, come in and pay cash if they have to pay at all, So maybe there's something we need to discuss, the board, about game fees and how they pay, because some parents might want to come in and see their kids, they don't understand. Maybe they don't have credit cards. Maybe they don't know how to use the internet, to do that.
Right.
And you can embarrass them and everything, so I think they should be able, if we're going to have a fee, they should be able to take cash. I just think that's the right thing to do, so maybe we need to discuss that in a future board meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Clerk Mendoza?
Nothing, thank you.
For myself, we're still missing our quarterly reports from the NWA for this last quarter. I know we're working on them. And when we could get those to us, I think you mentioned we might have them by Friday. If that's the case, we could have them, review them, and then on the August 13th meeting, we could have them on the agenda to be presented to us by permit. Thank you. Anything else, I think? And it is 8:48, and I adjourn this meeting. Thank you for attending the board meeting. Good night, and be careful going home.